Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with some more arena gameplay video for you all. Now that I've unlocked THANOS endgame as of yesterday using power cores, we've been able to experiment, and I actually am back now in the top 10. Let me show you, this is my defense right now currently, which is the 3 Annihilator characters in addition to Super Skrull and Apocalypse. We'll see how this does in the coming days here, but definitely the mirror matches and so forth were interesting. I got some different battles to show you guys here. Also, just to showcase as well, there's going to be some RNG involved because that's what I've noticed. I think the Annihilator characters are still a bit bugged, so I think they're going to be making some changes there. But in the meantime, I'll show you some of the gameplay, some of the different strategies involved. But now it's become a chess match where you are basically targeting the opponent's enemies and trying to see which matchups you can take advantage of in the meantime, especially knowing if you have THANOS versus an enemy that doesn't. Maybe if you want to use ultimates to wipe out their gladiator, it definitely has added a level of theory crafting, which I appreciate. For the main offensive options that you'll see, typically I'm using Apocalypse, Ultimus, Gladiator, THANOS Endgame, and Gorr. In those off chances that I do see a matchup where I'm experimenting, I have also brought in Super Skrull for some offensive capabilities as well. So you guys will see that in the gameplay footage. So without further ado, let me show you now the teams I've been working for myself and the mirror matches I've been using for the recent arena meta as of today. So this was actually my very first matchup that utilized THANOS Endgame, and I did see a defense here where they utilized Old Man Logan. I strongly do believe that he is the odd man out now, so I want to get this captured for you guys so you can see how Old Man Logan should not be on the defense, because it's just easy pickings for this Annihilator team now that completely shuts him down, especially with THANOS Endgame preventing the trauma and obviously having a stun as well. So we start things off with our Gorr removing the charges, so they can't really do much. Then we go ahead, we opt to use our Apocalypse Ultimate. They do the same thing. So there's going to be a lot of mirror matching here, as you can see, right? And then at this point, because of the on-spawn taunt coming with Gladiator, you probably won't have a chance to get through it before you get through him. Hence why I do think, you know, against those matchups where if you have a bigger Ultimus, mine is, I was able to get him recently to 3 Diamond. His ultimate hits like a truck here. As you can see, it puts him straight into stealth mode. And then you can actually have access here now to attack other enemies. So in this case, we're going to be targeting the weakest link, which is Old Man Logan. Now, even though we're up against this team that utilized THANOS Endgame, you know, his passive actually didn't hit us as hard as I thought it would. Hence why I do think, I feel like the damage is bugged right now for that ability, but we'll see in the meantime. It gets patched up and so forth. But you can see, yeah, now it's 4 against 3, and then our passive actually wiped out their third ally, so now it's just a 4-on-2 match. So pretty easy picking matchup. Again, I want to demonstrate that do not put Old Man Logan on defense, because it's just very easy pickings for this team, especially if you have an Ultimus as well, like myself here. So this was a nice matchup just to showcase the abilities of THANOS Endgame. Next up, I found another matchup here with THANOS, and this time we're going to be up against a Black Knight variant. Again, to showcase how this team does now against the Black Knight version instead of Old Man Logan being utilized, as you can see. So very similar. You're going to be starting things off with the ultimate. If they get their turn first, you know, their Black Knights can retaliate. But then, because now that we have another additional 2 members of Annihilators on our team, Gorr is likely going to be able to strip away those charges from Black Knights. So once again, now Black Knight's kind of in a similar situation to Old Man Logan, where they're not really gonna be able to do much. So a similar story to the first battle. We're going through now and we're just targeting the Gladiator. We also brought in Ultimus again with this variant, so that way he can actually hone in on that defense here. The last battle is gonna be a little different, but we'll just go ahead and just showcase once again a similar matchup here. But I think also sometimes the timing and the RNG of when Apocalypse lands his ult too, because I've had some rounds where you know, the Apocalypse actually landed his empowered state on my THANOS, and it prevented me from using my passive. So that's something to watch for. If you can one-shot a THANOS, then that prevents his passive, right? So just food for thought. For example, right here, I tried to go for it, but then I changed my mind and went for Gorr instead. I should have. I was thinking about the damage. I should have. If I did the THANOS there, I probably would have actually killed him, but you know, it is what it is. Learning lesson there. That would have prevented his passive, but as you can see, we just showed her the damage anyways. And again, I just want to show you how one-sided this is if the RNG lands in your favor, where Apocalypse does not take down your THANOS. It's a pretty one-sided battle. As you can see, Black Knight not really doing much. And that's what I mean, guys. This Annihilator's team effectively pushes out Old Man Logan and Black Knight. So in a way, you really do want to be targeting these kind of matchups, and I was just waiting and pausing for the time there so that way I can get the victory just like that. Boom. So that's the second battle there. Okay, finally in this round, I wanted to switch things up. I'm targeting an enemy team that actually does have ultimates, but instead of the pure 1-to-1 mirror match, I'm actually swapping in and bringing my Super Scroll in position of my previous matchups where I did have ultimates there. Just because, although we're not going to have as much offense against the Gladiator, we're going to have a lot more burst when we get to a Super Scroll's ultimate, which can be a difference maker here. So as you can see, the story is going to be very, very similar in the beginning, right? It's going to be the Gorr ults, it's going to be the Apocalypse ultimates, and as well as Gladiator. So it's going to be very, very similar. Only difference being is that our Scroll is going to be able to get a chance to go on that right side to do a little bit more damage there. He can't really do much, to be honest. Maybe there's an odd moment where he can land some exposure. That exposure would allow, you know, Thanos to at least grant some energy for the team. That didn't happen here. That's okay. But we were able to land the stun on Gladiator, and now we have the Apocalypse ultimate here, right? This is pretty effective here. You could choose to do a couple things. You could try to take out their Thanos. You could try to take out their Gladiator. I went for Thanos trying to see if I can skip it, but this was interesting. Look what happened there. This is where I feel like it's bugged, right? I definitely, his passive should have activated, and it probably would have killed my Gladiator, but it didn't. And that's why it's kind of interesting right now to see what happens with this arena meta, because they clearly do need to patch this up. That Thanos passive should have triggered. It didn't, and now we have a pretty sizable advantage here because, you know, our buffs weren't stripped and they didn't do damage, and our Thanos passive did kick in, so we're doing some additional AoE there. So right now we do have the edge, actually, because we have a big Super Scroll ultimate that's coming their way, and they can't really do anything about it, especially now that we've taken care of their enemy Thanos. So we're just waiting for our turns here. We're focusing on the weaker enemies like Gorr, and then boom, this is what I'm talking about. Got the massive Scroll ultimate, and GG, just like that. Well, just ultimates now, and we're counting down the clock, because as of this point in time, I was actually waiting for the timer to hit the reset at arena payout here. So pro tip for you guys, you know, obviously just pause and wait for the countdown of the clock, watch the time, and this actually would have gave my enemies, you know, 5 to 10 seconds left of time to actually finish off. And you'll see here that got me the rank 10 position. But my opponent was actually attacking someone higher, which actually, boom, you know, slingshotted me to the top 6 rank right there. And you can see the reward payout's already done, putting me at number 6 again, guys. So we're back in the top 10 once again with this team. But yeah, this has been interesting. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this, but again, I'm targeting enemies now. It's become more of a rock, paper, scissors matchup in terms of what to use. And again, some clear bugs as you guys saw from the footage, so hopefully they clean that up as well. But hopefully this is helpful. Good luck in your guys' unlock if you're able to as well. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.